The news here on 3FM 92.7. We're coming to you live from our studio here at Adesawe Kanda in Accra and Tamale. We're live on Kesmi 107.1 FM. If you can hear us in White on W 93.5 around the world, we're streaming live on 3news.com. Download the tuning app from the Google Play, Apple iOS store, and listen to us on the go. Coming up this morning, caterers under the school feeding program expected to meet today over latest assurances from government to pay them arrears owed them, leading to several weeks of strike. The minority, meanwhile, has described as woefully inadequate 20 pesos increase in allocation for food a day per child.
In this system, you cannot tell me that the amount that is being proposed is even sufficient to feed a pet cat, let alone to feed our wards.
Also this morning, Electoral Commission hits back at NDC claims of voter manipulation in Asin North ahead of the by-election there, describing the claims by the opposition as a figment of their imagination. The NPP has also described the allegation of voter manipulation as false. And much later, cocoa farmers demand increase in cocoa prices to curb smuggling to neighboring countries following arrest of one person.
The Ivory Coast price is compared to Ghana cedi is 1,400 and Ghana is 800. So you can imagine the difference is 600.
We have details of these stories and more if you stay with us for the next 10 minutes. I am Eric Mawuena Egbeta. Let's begin. And caterers under the school feeding program are later today expected to meet to decide on whether or not to call off their strike following latest assurance by government to pay them. The Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Lariba Zuwaira Abudu, at a news conference yesterday said next week as date to have all outstanding arrears pay the caterers who've been on strike for several weeks. And they've been given the assurance that they would be paid by next week. Now, speaking to 3FM, member of the Caterers Association, Dorothy Sapon, said they were ashamed over their continuous borrowing.
We cannot go and borrow to come and cook for the children for free. We are fed up. We want our money.
Caterers have become indebted to the traders and farmers we credited items from. We are ashamed because we owe so much.
That's Dorothy Sapon, a member of the Caterers Association. Well, the government, meanwhile, has increased the feeding grant under the program to 1 cedi's 20 pesos, up from the 20 pesos being paid. The increase is, however, in sharp contrast of the 3 cedi's 50 pesos demand from the caterers. For Deputy Ranking Member on the Education Committee, Dr. Clement Park, the proposal is a slap on the face.
How much is the cost of an egg? I expect these women to buy fuels, whether charcoal or wood or LPG gas, and they are supposed to procure water. They are supposed to at least get 1 or 2 persons to assist them, and they are supposed to procure soap to clean dishes. In this system, you cannot tell me that the amount that is being proposed is even sufficient to feed a pet cat, let alone to feed our wards. Now remember, the school feeding program is supposed to provide a hot, nutritious meal. The IMF has made us aware that in spite of the fact that we are gone for a bailout, provision has been made to protect pro-poor policies.
That's Dr. Clement Park. He's a ranking on the Education Committee Deputy Ranking rather on the Education Committee. Away from this to politics now, because the Electoral Commission has hit back at claims by the opposition National Democratic Congress that it is seeking to insert the name of one of the NPP's aspirants into the Asin North voters register ahead of the June 27 by-election. The NDC on Sunday alleged that the NPP aspirant Charles Opoku is not a registered voter in the Asin North constituency, adding that the illegal move will help the aspirant contest. But responding to the allegations in a statement, the Electoral Commission insisted that the claims were false and should be treated with the contempt it deserves. The governing New Patriotic Party, in a statement as well, has rebuffed the claim, stating that the opposition party is engaged in attempts to mislead the Ghanaian populace. We'll stay with politics a while longer because the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Mahama, is predicting a win for the NDC in the 2024 elections. Now, speaking at the commemoration of the June 4th uprising in Hokwe in the Volta region, the former president urged Ghanaians to observe the June 4th uprising with utmost respect and gratitude.
There should be sufficient basis to work towards a change that helps reset our country and build the Ghana we all want together. It must be a change that will afford you a shot at fulfilling your aspirations and realizing your dreams in your own country. As heirs of the revolution in the NDC, we have no choice but to offer dedicated leadership for this effort. We dare not fail. We must set a new standard in governance so that Ghanaians will appreciate that we are not condemned as a people to live with this level of greed and impunity.
Former President John Dramani Mahama there. To other news now, pension bondholders are expecting payment of the outstanding coupons from Tuesday. This is after the Ministry of Finance promised to immediately clear all 5 outstanding coupons owed them, and the parties reach an agreement after the bondholders resume picketing at the Finance Ministry. Now speaking to 3FM convener of the Pensioner Bondholders Association, Dr. Idona Nientri, said they will resume picketing if government fails to meet the deadline.
We have arrived at is that government is going to pay immediately the 5 outstanding principals. Outstanding coupon immediately. So we are expecting the payment to be flowing into people's accounts Monday, Tuesday, latest by Wednesday. We should see that. And then the principals, government is going to pay within 2 weeks. If government doesn't listen, you see, we stop the picketing because we always want to give government create a window of opportunity for government where you say, I'm going to do this. Okay, let's give you 2 days, 3 days to do that. If you don't do, we come back.
Dr. Idona Nientri is the convener of the Pensioner Bondholders Association, and they are later this week. All the pensioner bondholders expected to meet the Finance Ministry over government appeal to have them forfeit interest payment on their matured coupons and bonds. Away from this, the Ghana National Cocoa Farmers Association says government must increase cocoa prices to prevent smuggling of the commodity outside the country. On Sunday, an intelligence operation by Cocoa Board and the Asamankase police led to the arrest of one person for allegedly smuggling 35 barrels of cocoa beans. Cocoa Board officials explained the cocoa beans were packed in palm oil barrels to outsmart police during transportation.
Whilst we were here, somebody showed up that the truck belongs to him and that he had driven it to that location in the night and had a breakdown. Before he could bring the mechanic to attend to it, he couldn't find the truck. But that man is behind bars now. It will surprise you. Today we are here. Yesterday we were in Tepa. 3 days ago we were in Elubo. Last week we were in Aflau and Ho. And so the situation is getting out of hand.
Well, for president of the Ghana Cocoa Farmers Association, Stevenson Ananeboating, that currently there's a price difference of about 600 cedis between what neighboring countries are selling a bag of cocoa and what government is giving farmers. Hence, there need to be a review of prices.
Now, Ivory Coast price is compared to Ghana cedi is 1,400 and Ghana is 800. So you can imagine the difference is 600, and 600 difference is quite high. So for instance, if I have 10 bags of cocoa bean and I sell it outside, I will get 600 times 10. That's 6,000. But meanwhile, over here the price is low. And we cocoa farmers, we are not security agents.
Stevenson Ananeboating, he is the president of the Cocoa Farmers Association here in Ghana. Today is Environment Day, and for environmentalists in the country, the continuous use of plastics and its associated dangers continue to pose a threat for the Ghanaian environment. Here is Dr. Eric Chum, who's a chartered environmentalist and executive director of the Institute of Environmental Assessment.
With increasing population and demand for plastics, we are polluting our environment with plastics. Unfortunately, in Ghana, less than 10% of plastics that come to our country or produced here are recycled, creating a menace for society.
Dr. Eric Chum is a chartered environmentalist and executive director of the Institute of Environmental Assessment. And we end in neighboring Senegal because tensions continue to mount there as protests continue in the country, and the death toll from the protests has reached 15 since a court convicted the opposition leader Ousmane Sonko. And there'll be a lot more on the protests in Senegal if you stay with us here on 3FM 92.7. But that's our bulletin for this morning. A lot more news if you log on to 3news.com. Johnny Hughes and the rest of the Sunrise team, they're up next with the best breakfast show in the capital. I am Eric Mawuena Egbeta. Good morning.